What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol COUP for Coupa software. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame chart, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame chart. First thing I need to let you know is that they did give us an earnings announcement after the bell today, so let's flip on the extended hours session and see what's going on with the number. Just zooming in a bit, you can certainly see that there was some volatility, and for the sake of today's video, we will assume that we're opening on a gap up, with the open being somewhere here around 275 and the overnight high being way up here closer to 298. Now this is going to make the trade a little bit more difficult to pull off at the bell tomorrow, but hopefully these as you know, these numbers are subject to change and they can get closer together. Let's dive into detail on what I mean by, a little bit more difficult to pull off by looking at the daily time frame and talking about the gap and trap versus the gap and go. Right? So if we open here and we fail to take out the overnight high, trade back down through the open, we're looking for a short essentially to come back down and fill the gap to today's high, which, let's map that out, is around our 267.76. Now think about this, right? As because these numbers are so far apart, that would basically mean that our risk is here and that our reward is here. And that doesn't make a whole lot of sense in terms of trading sustainably and risk, through risk-friendly practices. So as we said, if this number can get back closer to the overnight high and the open can be somewhere up here, think about what that does for the trade. So again, if the open is here, we do something like this, then your short is here, you're trading all the way for this, and your risk is now here. So that's all I meant earlier by, as these numbers get closer together, it's easier to pull off the trade, and as they get further apart, makes it a little more difficult. Maybe you look for opportunity elsewhere. The same exact thing is going to hold true for the gap and go scenario, where if we open here, consolidate in this range, something like that, you're looking for the breakout up and over that overnight high at 297.86, call it 300 for round numbers sake, in which case you're looking at the next major area of daily structure to provide a target overhead. Let's flip this to auto and see what we've got. So scrolling back here up over 300, you'll notice that this sort of area here provided some congestion and prior support right around 320. So that would be the next major area I would watch for from a structural perspective. Again, just noting that we had congestion here, support, and also resistance on that fake break before recapturing. So 320, just the next overhead level. Do I really think it's going to get there? Do I think that it's going to put in a candle that looks something like this? The probabilities don't really favor it. Just knowing that that's up ahead is going to be kind of useful, though. Again, this might take the course of a couple of days, even a couple of weeks to get into that area of structure. So is there anything in between this gap area that is potentially jumping off the page would be the next question. And I would argue that this here is sort of important, right? We have this pivot high around 280, and as of right now, we're opening slightly below it. If we can get back above, maybe the trade unfolds like this, right? If we open here, never take out the open, just consolidate in this range, the break is up over 280 to get back into the overnight high. That would certainly be more reasonable, in my opinion, with a stop underneath here. So those are my thoughts on COUP. We'll see if we can get some upside continuation to the downside if we do move underneath the gap. What else am I noticing here? Well, just from the 30-minute intraday perspective, we'll talk about this side just for a moment, then wrap it up here. Certainly a very steep support trend line, and I would argue it's something like this, just sort of splitting the difference. So anchor, sort of touch-ish one in here, and then two right here. If we get a pullback deeper than filling the gap to here, that would be the next area where I would really pay attention to for a potential reversal. Could happen, anywhere, right? Anywhere from down here all the way to up here, depending on time of week. So between 252 up to 260. I mean, who knows? I would just watch out for the support trend line in general. So if you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed the thoughts, let me know down below in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description. And all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.